Adulting in friendship is hard. Trying to maintain friendships, keep up with text messages. But nowadays, I feel like a lot of relationships are hella toxic and we are not talking about it. So today I really want to focus on Shamea and Porsha because we've all had a bestie fallout. We probably all had selfish friends, ones who are not consistent. And how do you really maintain a relationship when your role has always been in the background and now it's time for the light to shine on you and your friend since the schoolyard is not feeling it? So let's tap in from a therapist perspective and get into this Real Housewives of Atlanta season right about now. Now, I've said so many times, it is so hard to just try and maintain a friendship. But what happens when, okay, you've been in the background, your friend is the one who's the extrovert, who's loud, okay? Not loud in a sense of like, it benefits both of us, but in a selfish way. And I feel like we have seen throughout this season thus far, Shamea deciding to be a whole peach holder. Not just one on the side, not in the background. How I think the expectations were that Shamea would come on and continue to be on the sidelines and be a supportive MVP, but not the main attraction, not main character energy. And so we've seen this season just how Porsha, to me, is a mean girl. Always been, but this time it feels a little bit different, that she's willing to lose relationships because she needs to be at the center of attention at the cost of what? The people around her who are not willing to be yes ma'ams. All right. Ask yourself, have you ever fallen out with a best friend? Did your story change and you were not trapped in a corner, lost, broken, depressed, and you're on your healing journey? And it was time for you to evolve. And you start to realize, I've been putting up with some things. The clarity I have gained feels good, but at the same time, it's very uncomfortable because I'm like, oh, I've been putting up with this for so long. Is this really the friend I really need? And sometimes we have to let those friendships go in order to evolve, heal, and boy, does it not feel good. Now we've seen Porsha and Shamea be on vacations. How many seasons actually have we seen Shamea more in the background, more being humble, still to me, still humble, but now it's time for her to share her story, be transparent and be vulnerable. And I think in some ways we expected and thought we were gonna get the same transparency from Porsha this season, but instead we've gotten somebody who's selfish, fame hungry, still trying to steal people's husbands, okay? Just all about Porsha, 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 Porsha. And I think she was supposed to be the center this year, and these other women were supposed to come on and let her be the queen. The new Nene, maybe? But instead, everyone is not playing along like they should, and they're feeling the wrath of Porsha, Porsha, Porsha. Porsha the baby. Porsha the one that's used to being the center of attention and the story all about being her. So let's talk about loyalty, respect, respectability, politics. Where do you feel like loyalty lies here? Is it the responsibility of Shamea to come on and be more loyal to Porsha? Has she shown any level of disloyalty, or is it more that this needs to be the Porsha show? All about Porsha. And sometimes in friendships, because we evolve, because we change, we see ruptures in friendships. And a lot of times I get calls from people wanting to have friendship counseling, friendship therapy. Yes, it does exist because they've had different types of ruptures. So let's talk about therapy, friendships, and ruptures in your relationship. First, let's talk about attachment styles. I feel like Porsha has more of a fearful, avoidant attachment style, whereas Shamea has more of a secure, but a little bit anxious, preoccupied at times. Now, let you guys let me know, what do you think their different attachment styles are and how that plays a role in friendships? Because oftentimes we talk about attachment styles in relationship to your significant other, but not so much in your friendship. Your attachment style does play a role in your relationship. Now, Porsha is somebody who I think wants relationships, wants the attention, but does she want to put in the work? Is there reciprocity in her relationships, or is it just all about Porsha? I think both these women have different attachment styles, and we have to look at how the things you did not get from other relationships, it doesn't just have to be your parents, but in general, come into play when it comes to your friendships. And both these women have been in different marriages. Well, Shamea, the same marriage, being happily married. Her wealth does not need to be seen. Where I feel like Porsha over here is chasing maybe what Shamea has. Maybe them both being married to, correct me if I'm wrong, but are both husbands Nigerian? Okay. Maybe she married that man over there. Okay. Thinking that she's going to have the same relationship, the same lifestyle that Shamea has had for so long. And she didn't get that. So I think that plays a role in it. There could be some jealousy. Even when we saw, Shamea sharing her single at the table they were eating at. And Portia's like, that's you? What's with the shade? Now, that is not how supportive friends appear in relationships. That to me is an op. And it's coming more across like Porsha might really be an op. Okay, because she really wanted what Shamea has, the marriage, the kids, the wealth, the house. But what did Buffy say from Married to Medicine? Did she say what something about wealth jingles? Y'all tell me in the comments what she said, because it was actually accurate. Because I feel like Porsha tries to be very loud with her supposed wealth, because I don't really think she got no wealth at this point. Okay, where Shamea has an established relationship and established wealth that she doesn't need to be loud with it. Okay. Her lifestyle, all of it, she's been the humble friend for so long, the down to earth friend, that it was finally time. She was probably asked a few times to come on as a full housewife, but never did so. And she finally said yes. And let's talk about another rupture of friendships, triangulation. I think at times Porsha seems to replace friends. And sometimes let me know if you think that Porsha gets triangulated, where there's two people and then something else comes into play and we got this triangle, this drama and dynamics. I think at times, I wonder, does Porsha have real established friendships, or is everyone some kind of opportunity for her to become bigger, better, wealthier? Do any of her relationships really foster a foundation for growth, for them to really evolve? Ask yourself in your own friendships, is my friendship growing or is it stagnant? And what happens in my life when I've had successes, career highs, marriages? Is my friend from back in the day still there? Or does she disappear? Or does she make little comments about my successes, the things I want to share with her? Because oftentimes your friends have microaggressions. They make little comments. Must be nice. That's a microaggression. Peep game. That is a microaggression. Oh, y'all going on another trip? Yes. You guys are in relationships with people who show you the same microaggressions that them people outside there be showing you. Them people outside there. But sometimes you're so caught up in the history of your friendship and you don't want to let go. You ignore. Yes, you ignore. Because it's too hard to start new friendships. You don't want to start all over, but sometimes you do. The third thing is emotional labor in friendships and expectations. What do you think are the emotional expectations in your friendship? Do y'all talk about that? The labor of it. Is there reciprocity? Are y'all both putting in? Or is one person always planning, preparing, getting the group together, the glue of the group? What happens if you were to say, I'm going to take a step back from being the planner. I'm going to take a step back to reflect. And how about y'all plan some stuff? Do you think the friendship would keep going? Are you the person who's always extending the olive branch of, hey, let's do this, let's do that. I got this great idea. Do you get that back? The emotional aspect. When you are going through hard times or need someone to pick up the phone, are you the strong friend? Who calling you? Who texting you? Are you always the person reaching out to other people to make sure they're okay? The strong friend needs love too. Just because you appear strong on the outside doesn't mean you feel that way on the inside. So I want you to think about, when it comes to emotional labor and expectations, do you even have any expectations? Or have you been settling for the same shitty friendship because y'all been friends for 10 years? Y'all been friends since elementary and you're in your 40s now. You can do better, but do you believe, sis, that you can do better? Because you might just be best friends with the op, the one who's preventing you from growing, from evolving, from thriving. Okay? Allow yourself to develop some clarity. I know clarity is not the best all the time during your healing journey, because you start to realize, oh, damn, I've been used. I've been playing with people, talk to me sideways. Okay. Maybe all these years you've been drinking a lot, smoking a lot, whatever your vice is that has kept you from really seeing that, oh, I'm not getting what I really need. The friendship's not consistent. Okay. So that's going to be my fourth thing, consistency. What does that look like in the friendship, along with expectations? Because even Issa Rae said recently that she's not the most consistent friend. And we don't have those conversations enough about consistency in friendships. What does that look like? What do you need? What is consistency? Actions, what do they also look like? Because maybe you're not the friend who calls all the time, but when that friend needs you, you're going to show up. But maybe you just don't talk on the phone. You don't text. Because Issa also says, I'm thinking about you, but maybe it doesn't click to me to also say what I'm thinking in a phone call, to reach out and text. Maybe I just have so many other things going on, projects, all that I love you, I care about you, but something doesn't click to me to reach out. And I have friendships myself where certain friends may not text me every week. We don't call every week. Maybe I reach out to them, but I do know that once I need them, they will show up. So sometimes I feel like the clip going viral is her saying how she isn't a consistent friend, but she shows up in other ways. So ask yourself if that's good enough for you, if that person was to show up in other ways. Now, looking at all these women, Porsha, Shamea, Issa, what do you think we can learn? Okay. How can we use these different dynamics of these different types of friendships to learn and grow and become better friends ourselves? Okay. How often do you check the temperature of your friendship? How are things going? Just like y'all checking in with y'all men's, y'all boos. How often do you do temperature checks for your friendship and say, hey, I want to make sure you're getting your needs met. Am I showing up the way you need from me? And reciprocate that. Hopefully they ask you the same thing back. It's reciprocated. We need more reciprocation in friendships, and people don't focus on that. Okay. So check the temperature of your friendship. Okay. When you guys have problems, do you speak up? Do you bring it to the table? Or are you so afraid to make waves that you've been keeping things in and you have built up resentment for that person? And maybe your words don't show up, but your actions do. So how often are you talking about some of the things that are happening? Do you allow room for change? What does that look like? What does it mean? That as you grow and evolve, as your friendship evolves, they have kids, maybe they get married, maybe they get divorced, you're not married, maybe you have a kid and you're married. As things grow and evolve, is there room for change? Are you one of those people who maybe your friends have all started having kids and getting married and you're still the single friend, or maybe you're the single parent of the group? Even though those things happen, don't allow it to really create this unspoken thing in your friendship. Talk about it, bring it to the surface so that your friendship can grow and evolve. So many friendships are stale because y'all not talking about shit. Y'all too scared. Y'all scared of losing a person. Y'all scared of starting all over. You're scared of not having friends. that you're staying stagnant in things that are not working. So make room for change. Okay. Now, I think there's a lot of hurt on both ends when it comes to Porsha and Shamea. I think Shamea's probably hurt that Porsha probably hasn't been there through some of her hardest times. And I can see how Porsha can maybe feel like Shamea hasn't been there for her, but I'm just like, we only know what they show us and what they tell us. So I'm sure there's things that we don't actually know. And I know this video could have brought up some very hard feelings for you. Are you taking the time to self-reflect on your own friendships? Are you holding on to toxic people who are no longer serving you because of fear, judgments, because you don't have a lot of friends? You just stick with the ones who really are there, even though you ain't getting nothing. Something is better than nothing, is what some people might feel like. So let me know, what did this bring up for you? Did this video help you maybe take some time to self-reflect? And if you want more videos about psychology, pop culture, reality TV, you know where to come, okay? Now, if you got to the end of this video, put some purple hearts in the chat so I know you got to the end. Let me know where you're watching from, okay? Make sure if you have not already, hit that like, you subscribe, and I will see you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all can also send me some super chats. Okay, y'all can drop them in the comments. Buy me some coffee, okay? You know your girl is moving. Y'all can contribute to the move. The new studio getting equipment, because we about to break out and have a studio once I move. So contribute. You know, I got some things on the Amazon list that I need for the studio that y'all can help with, all right? But make sure you hit that like, you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.